Yeah, but I have good reasons to do that, but we can talk about that later. Okay, so this is this is basically the source code of the. You can see that. Okay, this is basically the source code of the tool. So there are some couple of modules down there. The main module that when you would like to, it's actually possible to create custom views on top of the tool that we have implemented. If you just import this core module, if you create a dependency on it, then you will be actually able to plug into our infrastructure and create your own views on top of what we have done. So, okay, so I have already executed the tool. So this is the NetBeans platform. The first things that you can see here is two new buttons down here. One of them is called Trace Project, which is basically a modification of the standard Run Main Project button. This will basically use our execution tracer. We use load time weaving to trace the applications. When you execute this one, then you will be able to trace your features. And you do that by executing the program and just interacting with it. Then the information is transparently collected in the background. You can also do that when you execute your test cases. So then, for example, you can develop test suites that trigger your features to, for example, to automatize the execution of features and then maybe track the evolution of your features over time. So this is our project that we will look at. There are some packages. You can see it has a controller package, it has a model package, it has some view packages. So it seems to be this kind of model view controller architecture. I have, and this is the main window of Featureous, the Explorer window of Featureous. Here you can do different things. You can switch on views. I have already gathered some. Maybe first, before I will show you that, I will show you how to prepare a program for tracing and how to collect feature traces. So basically, one of the things that you will have created for you is this AOP XML. It's just something, some configuration file that AspectJ uses. You just have to configure that. That's very easy, but you just have to do it one time. Then the next thing is you will have to find in your program places that we call feature entry points, which are basically methods through which the control flow of your program enters features. So for example, I have already annotated this program with those feature entry points. If we, for example, look where safe map feature starts, then we have two places where it happens. So you can see that this is a safe action. So basically, it's just like an event handler for this, for some kind of GUI button or GUI shortcut that allows you to save your mind map in the tool. And the other place is also similar. It is just save as action. So if you do that, if you already annotate your program with those feature entry points, you can execute that. In the trace mode, what you can see here is something special in red. This is from AspectJ. It means that everything went fine, that we are tracing. Now you can do something, use the program a little bit, have some fun with it, maybe use the zoom feature. Then when you close the program, then you will see something like some kind of output from the feature traces. 5 traces written successfully to here. So if we look at the files that we have in our project, then you will see a folder called feature traces. Then the new ones that I have just made a moment ago are here. So we have those files, we can analyze them. For now, I'll just delete those and analyze a set of traces that I have captured before. So let's do that. Let's load those traces in Featureous. You can do that by using this update button when your chosen project is the main project, the focus project. So if you press that, then the most recent traces will get loaded. So we can see these are the features that we have traced in the program. You can, for example, look into some of them. When you select, you will get this inspector window. This is implemented using the Nodes API of the NetBeans Rich Client platform. Probably we'll hear about that at some point also. Here you can basically see what kind of packages go to your feature, what kind of classes participate in the implementation of your feature, and what kind of methods do that. And from this view, you can also go directly to the source code. For example, in this case, the edge model class, you can do that. You can also go to different methods, like for example, get source. So this way you can actually go from your features. For example, this display map feature. If you want to modify this feature or kind of figure out how it's implemented, then you can use that to be transported to the source code. Another thing, when we are at the source code, then you can see those color lines. They are a bit similar to what you could see with the SVN plugin for NetBeans IDE. But in this case, the color bars indicates to which features or to how many features the pieces of code belong to. So for example, you can see that at the granularity of methods. And if you go onto one of those color bars, then you will actually see that this method participates in those features. This information is created based on the feature traces that we have created. The same we can go with this one. Green, in our terminology, green means that a method is feature specific. So we can see that load XML method, in this case, belongs only to one feature, open map feature. So this method would be a good candidate to move to a separate module. It makes sense. So another thing you can do here is with the code editor is that if you click on a feature, like I will click again on the display map, then your IDE will focus on this feature. So for example, you will see only the methods in the code unfolded that belong to this feature. So this is basically an idea aimed at improving the browsing experience of your source code. So for example, right now, if my task is to correct a bug in displaying maps, then I'm not really interested in all those other methods in my source code that do not belong to this feature, because my bug is just not there. My bug will be, can be in get source method, maybe not here, but maybe in set get color method. So this is some kind of idea that we have that can make your life easier when you look at the source code from the features perspective. Okay, we'll move on. I will show you some views, some of those fancy graphical views that we have. Maybe I will just select all the features right now, and for those features I will show you what we call feature code correlation graph. This is basically a graph that correlates the implementations of features with the computational units of your program. So if we just stay at the package granularity as we are now, maybe I'll just zoom it. Sorry about that. I will just return. Then if we maybe press on this one, and I will just drag the layers as they should be. So the view layer on top, the controller layer in the middle, we are used to looking at it this way. Then you can actually see a confirmation of what I have already said in the slides. Here you can see features. Here you can see packages. You can see when I go onto the features, then always those three packages, view, controller, and model, they light up, because this basically means that features cross-cut your packages. So here you have an empirical thing, an empirical evidence that that's actually the case. So maybe when you are porting your applications to the NetBeans Rich Client platform, and actually it's not a good idea to create one module for your view, one module for your controller, and one module for your model. Yes. Okay, so that was one of the views. Some fancy things that we have here is that you can kind of click, then it animates. That's kind of fun. Probably makes the experience better. But that's our idea. We would like, actually, by releasing the tool, we would like to actually get some feedback on if this is actually helpful and how do you like it. And if you find some of those things useful, then you can use this feedback form available at this button to give us some feedback, if you have some time to do that. Okay, I will show you just maybe two more views. One of them will be, we have a couple more, but I will just show two more. One of them deals with something that Hertian already mentioned, which is dependencies between features. When you port to NetBeans platform, you would like your features to be fairly independent from each other. there can be, of course, logical dependencies.